Life in apartment complexes is filled with routines. People rushing to work, kids playing in the courtyard, and the faint smell of dinners wafting through the hallways. For the 24-year-old Ryan Jacobs, his new apartment felt like a fresh start after years of living with his overbearing parents. It was his space, his freedom, but also his first brush with true fear. The day Ryan moved into Pinecrest Apartments, everything seemed perfect. The rent was affordable, the neighbors kept to themselves, and the location was close to his new job at a local marketing firm. As he unpacked, he noticed the sound of footsteps above him. Someone was pacing, quick, heavy steps that made the ceiling creak. Must be the upstairs neighbor, he thought, shrugging it off. That night, Ryan struggled to sleep. The pacing had continued long past midnight. He tossed and turned, his annoyance growing. Finally, at 2 a.m., he grabbed a broom and tapped the ceiling twice. The footsteps stopped. Satisfied, Ryan rolled over and drifted to sleep. But at 3 a.m., he woke to a different sound, faint scratching, like nails dragging across a wooden floor. It wasn't coming from above. This time, it came from the wall behind his bed. Determined to resolve the issue, Ryan decided to introduce himself to the upstairs neighbor the following morning. Apartment 5B. He knocked twice but got no response. He waited, then knocked again. The door opened slightly, revealing a young woman in her mid-30s with tired eyes and disheveled hair. "Hi, I'm Ryan from downstairs. I just wanted to—" She interrupted him, her voice flat and emotionless. "I don't make noise. Must have been someone else." Before Ryan could respond, she closed the door. It wasn't the reaction he'd expected, but he brushed it off. People in the city could be standoffish, right? A week later, Ryan noticed a maintenance worker fixing the light in the hallway. Striking up a conversation, Ryan casually mentioned the noises. The worker, an older man with a worn face, froze for a moment. 5B? He asked cautiously. Ryan nodded. The man hesitated, then said, "Just don't bother her too much. She's been through a lot." Before Ryan could ask more, the man packed his tools and left. That night, the noises started again, but this time they were louder. Pacing, scratching, and even muffled whispers. Ryan's patience snapped. He stomped upstairs and banged on the door to 5B. "Hey, can you keep it down?" Silence. The door didn't open. But as Ryan turned to leave, he felt something. A faint vibration through the floor. It wasn't footsteps. It was something heavier. Sliding. Ryan couldn't shake the unease. Over the next few days, he started noticing strange things. Mail piling up in front of 5B, the faint smell of bleach seeping into the hallway, and the fact that no one ever seemed to see the woman from 5B leave her apartment. One night, Ryan decided to investigate. He pretended to forget his keys so he could wait in the hallway and watch. Hours passed. Midnight came and went. Then, at 1 a.m., the door to 5B creaked open. A figure stepped out, hooded, carrying a large black bag. The person didn't look up, instead dragging the bag down the stairs and out the side entrance. Ryan followed, heart pounding, keeping his distance. The figure disappeared into the shadows of the apartment's trash area. When Ryan checked the dumpsters the next morning, they were empty, but the ground was wet and smelled faintly of bleach. Unable to ignore the growing dread, Ryan called the police and filed a noise complaint. 2 officers arrived, knocked on 5B, and received no answer. When they forced the door open, Ryan's worst fears were confirmed. The apartment was nearly empty. No furniture, no decorations, just an overwhelming smell of chemicals. In the middle of the living room was a trapdoor leading to a crawl space. Inside, the police found evidence of something horrific: ropes, duct tape, and a box of old photos. But the most chilling discovery was the collection of IDs, each belonging to a woman reported missing over the past 5 years. As the investigation unfolded, Ryan learned the truth. The woman he'd seen wasn't the tenant of 5B. The real tenant, a quiet man named Arthur Moore, had been using the apartment as a front for his crimes. The woman Ryan saw was one of his captives, forced to act as a decoy whenever anyone asked questions. Arthur had been watching Ryan since he moved in, using the noises to gauge his reactions, to test if he was a threat. When Ryan started asking questions, Arthur had begun preparing to leave, disposing of evidence under the cover of night. Arthur Moore was arrested weeks later, caught trying to flee the state. The media called him the silent tenant, a predator hiding in plain sight. For Ryan, life at Pinecrest Apartments would never be the same. He moved out shortly after, but the lesson stayed with him. Not all shadows are harmless. Sometimes the most ordinary places hide the darkest secrets, and sometimes it's up to us to trust our instincts and uncover the truth. Ryan walks away from the apartment complex, bag in hand. Ryan didn't see himself as a hero. He was just a guy who noticed when something felt wrong. But in a world where silence often masks danger, maybe that's what being a hero really means.